Hello, my beautiful friend, and welcome back to my channel. Let's give this reset, welcome back after life drama, grandfather's death, all of those things vlog. Let's give that a new, let's rewind and redo, okay? If you saw my last vlog, it was like the reset vlog gone wrong, okay? And now we're just going to have some days in my life, and guess what? Doing everything under my power, we're gonna have it not go wrong. And Flo has left the building. I have been sleeping well again because I've basically given up on getting Gracie back in her crate. And instead she's sleeping in a bed on our floor. And I'm just picking life back up, dusting it back off, and continuing in forward momentum. So, if you are new here, hello, my name is Brianna. I am the diva behind Diva and the Divine. I am a child-free by choice woman, married to the love of my life, dog mom of one sassy 8-year-old Yorkie, and this is my life as a child-free homemaker. Other than YouTube and the stuff associated with being online and Diva and the Divine, I do not work outside the home. My job is to take care of the home, and we live off of my husband's income. So I am a stay-at-home wife is what I am. And so welcome to my life as a stay-at-home wife. I love it here. And I hope that you enjoy being here as well. Let's see what kind of trouble we can get into together, shall we? I will say this, what type of content, if you're new here, what type of content do you see on my channel? Well, I share a lot about health and fitness and wellness and all of the different areas of my weight loss journey. As an update of my weight loss journey, I am officially down 5 pounds. I did spike back up a pound when Aunt Flo visited, and I got on the scale today and I've actually hit a new low. So my hormonal weight loss or weight gain has not affected me negatively at all this month, which is an incredible feeling because that is not always the case. So my weight loss journey is going very well, if I do say so myself. And so there's a lot of that content. I am also disabled. I have a disease called Charcot-Marie-Tooth disease. I have some videos on my channel describing that a little bit better, but know that I am coming from a disabled place. This is a place where I share my faith. I am a Christian and I love Jesus, and I love sharing Jesus with other people. So you will see that on my channel as well, and a little bit of everything in between. You never know what you're gonna get with me, but I can tell you, you will get me with coffee, you will get me with lips product on my lips most of the time, because I love me some, I'm a lip product addict, and there is a high likelihood that Harry Potter comes up in some topic of conversation at some point in time. I'm a Harry Potter loving, Jesus loving, coffee loving girl, okay? So welcome. I'm so glad you're here. We got a lot to accomplish this week. Let's talk a little bit about what's actually going on, shall we? For the record, it is Thursday and it is 3:40 p.m. I actually have a coaching call because did y'all know my wellness coaching business is still ongoing. I have a handful of clients that I meet with month to month on an individual basis, and we do not just nutrition. It's not just nutrition. It's not just weight loss, but we integrate that into more of an accountability structure in terms of what are your goals for your life? How can we set up action plans for those goals, for the areas of your life? I have some people that come on and hang out with me wanting to just kind of better fulfill themselves in life by sticking to their habits, and they're not necessarily geared towards weight loss specifically. Yes, health and wellness is part of that journey because I make sure it's integrated into part of all of my clients' journeys in some way, shape, or form, because when you feel better, you do better. But a lot of people will come to me now just wanting accountability and structure and somebody to check in with and talk through things with. And I have become that kind of coach for people, people who want accountability. And so I do have a coaching call in 20 minutes with one of my long-term clients. And so I'm excited to sit and chat with her. And then tonight I have a makeup goal setting chat. Sorry, I keep looking at the viewfinder because it likes to knock me out of focus, as you just saw, and I'm making sure that it is tracking my eyeball. But I have a membership community that's $10 a month, and it's a small group of really supportive people who are actively working to get to their goals together and find a place where we share health and wellness and food. And yes, there's a Harry Potter section and a place where we share our pets. And we get together twice a month. Once a month is just to hang out and chit chat about whatever is on our mind. Sometimes it turns into a coaching call. Sometimes we're just shooting the breeze for an hour. That takes place over Zoom. And then we also have monthly goal setting chats, also on Zoom, where we hang out and actually actually talk about what our goals are for the upcoming month. Since my grandfather passed away 2 weeks ago, we had his funeral last Wednesday, and so I was traveling on the evening that we normally would have had our call. So we had to punt the August goals call. So we are making that up tonight. So that is what is on my to-do list for work today. Today is my most work-heavy day. I led a healthy meeting earlier, so there's that. The other things that I have to do is just some home organization. And we got to start with this office, y'all. We got to start with this office because the closet's open because I was digging through things, but it's just, we're just a little bit cluttery. Like there's no business having clutter there. And when my grandfather passed, I was looking for pictures. So I have photo albums out. I just found the FabFitFun box thing. So that's all over creation. I just got to get things back in order. So that is actively part of what I'm working on. And I'm just gonna take you through a couple days in my life and share with you what kind of nonsense I get up to on a regular basis. This is my breakfast without the 2 eggs on top, but I wanted to show you guys what it looked like. We have a Thomas's Light English Muffin and avocado cup. And then this is chopped up cherry tomatoes that I put in the pan, and then I mix it with some feta cheese and let that melt together. And it creates this like slightly crispy cheese tomatoey effect thing. You probably are seeing the sesame seeds. I don't normally put sesame seeds on that, but there was a mishap in the spice drawer where the container came undone. So as I was putting the sesame seeds away, I sprinkled some on top to make it easier. Every time. And then here's the food with the eggs on top. If I did this well, we'll have kind of gooey eggs, but it looks like, oh, I overcooked them. I like to have my eggs just a little bit runny, but nevertheless, it will still be absolutely delicious. It's been a tremendously exciting mail day, and I thought I would share with you what I've gotten. First, I got 2 of these packages of the Only Bean edamame snacks. These are excellent, and I don't know if I told you guys, or I know I told my healthy meeting members, but this product is one that I found in Home Goods of all places. I went there, found some interesting looking snacks, and these Only Bean edamame snacks were one of them. And I was like, I don't want to have to, locate a Home Goods or go to Home Goods to hope that they have this snack. Well, the good Lord heard my plea. These are at Sam's Club now. Not kidding. These are at Sam's Club for a very reasonable price. And look at the stats on these bad boys. Roasted edamame, the sea salt one is 90. Oh, they changed the stats. They were 100 before. Interesting. They were 90 or 110 for the ranch ones. But check this out, okay? 5 grams of fiber, 4 grams of fiber, 11 grams of protein. Y'all, and all it is edamame and some soybean oil and sea salt, and then there's the ranch seasoning in the other ones. But come on, 11 grams of protein for 90 calories. This is a stellar macro balance snack. So good. Along the same lines of macro balanced snacks, I got my order from Elevie Protein Brownies. I'm actually an ambassador, an affiliate of theirs. You can use the code DIVA to get a discount. But I wanted to try their new birthday cake blondie brownies. They just launched these at the beginning of the month. And they're quite good. I already dove in. Oh, this is my sealed box. I bought one more box of each, and they're already in the pantry. But these have been a very legitimate replacement for the old protein brownie brand that doesn't exist anymore because they didn't listen to their customers. I'm not bitter at all. But check out these stats: 12 grams of fiber, 11 grams of protein. Check out these ingredients. Nothing crazy. Like, so good. And even in here, what's really nice to see is if you look at like the ingredients for the sprinkles, it's all natural. There's no artificial colorings or anything in here. It's a women-owned brand. You can buy these at Costco in South Florida. I am obviously not in South Florida, but when I go visit, I will be buying a couple boxes because I really enjoyed eating them while I was down in Florida and they were readily available to me. But I placed an order because I could not help myself, and these are a really, really great high fiber, high protein brownie substitute. Is it like eating a brownie out of a a box mix or a bakery? No, of course not. But is it a legitimate substitute as a sweet treat with macro balanced nutritionals that can help you and be more aligned with your goals during the week? Yes, absolutely. So that's why I have them. So that's an exciting find as well, or purchase rather. And then in case y'all were wondering whether or not I still used Soul CBD products, I do. I definitely do. And I just got my monthly restock in. I needed to restock the Harmony PMS Relief Gummies. I love these. It takes me quite some time to get through this container because A, I forget to take them, and B, I only take them the week before my period. So it's a great value and they work really, really well. My must-have, my absolute must-have, and the thing that makes me get an order every month is these sleepy capsules. I have been obsessed with these for so long. I love them. I need them. I'm so excited to sleep with this thing again tonight. And if there's one product I suggest you try, it's this one, honestly. And then I got the CBD drops, the high-powered 1500 milligrams one, because I ran out. This is like my supplemental. I keep it on my nightstand. If I wake up in the middle of the night, my brain can't turn off, I take a just, you know, a couple drops to kind of get, I like the high-powered drops because you don't need to take a full dropper to get the dosage you need. You can take a couple of drops, half a dropper, a quarter of a dropper, things like that. Because in a full dropper, a full ounce of this, milliliter, whatever the measurement is like 50 milligrams of CBD, or however you measure it. But yeah, I love these products. I have loved them for years now, and I am still a Soul Squad Ambassador member. You can use the code DIVA on Get Soul's website for 30% off of your order, any order. And I highly recommend it. It is a product I use in some capacity, is a brand I use in some capacity every single day. Just in case you think that my home is always together, you would be very wrong. This is the current situation, and we have people coming over this evening, and so today is going to be cleaning day. Then this is better. I got up this morning and made about a 40% improvement on this countertop. It just kind of imploded. But you know, it's fine. We're here. We're gonna get things done, and it's gonna be a great day. This Sunday has turned into great worship service, spend some time with people afterwards, and now we are knee deep, elbow deep even, in the cleaning and reorganization of our home. Because A, like I showed you earlier, things got a little bit out of control, but B, there's just some tasks that we need to get done. And here's one big change that we have made. And if you've been following me for the last couple of vlogs, you know what this is about. So this is the adjustment we have made for the dog. We have given up on trying to get her to sleep in her crate. All she does is throw tantrums, but we left the crate open and we put that bed right here, and she has been sleeping peacefully in that bed for, I don't know, days now. And so are you laying in the sunshine strip? Did you see how she placed herself so precisely in that one little strip of sun? Anyway, we finally took her crate down today. Hey Gracie, where's your bed? Where's your bed? Look. Look here. Look here. Go here. Go lay down. Go to bed. Go. Go. Yeah. So now she's been doing really well, going and sitting in this bed every night, even when it was over next to me. So today is the first day that we actually took the crate out and I put the bed where the crate is. So we're going to see. This might just be our new way of doing things now. So at 8.5 years old, almost 9 years old, she has determined that she no longer wants to be a crate dog. Check this out. Isn't this so much better? We are getting ready to host our small groups. So we've got plates and a little treat, and then I always make a pot of water and put out tea. So this is a work in progress. We'll have a couple other things that we set out here, just some little noshes. And this, you guys haven't seen before, this is our new, we got this from Sam's Club. This is 3 acacia wood cutting boards. Now, we are working on the crunchier kitchen. which I am realizing I don't think I ever actually put my initial clip for the Crunchier kitchen in. So take note, we have the acacia wood cutting boards that are replacing the old plastic cutting boards, okay? I will put the rest of the Crunchier kitchen content, which is basically just we've upgraded a handful of our things. I'll put them in this vlog because I don't think I've published them yet. And I filmed it literally the day my grandfather died. So there was a little bit of a distraction that day, but I did film that because the package happened to arrive the same day that he passed away. In order to get the entire cookware set put away, I had to unload it and whatnot. So that clip will be next, but let's finish what we were talking about here. So we have the kitchen all clean. This is all clean. And then we have a Gracie, and then we need to put up some chairs. We put chairs here, but I wanted to tell y'all, show y'all, up here in case you're wondering, what are all of those little specks that are on your table? Why, yes, they are, in fact, come on, focus on the man. They are, in fact, little Jesus figurines. I got these on Amazon, and I promise you there is a reason for them. And we have so many of them because I ordered a pack of 60. And these are going to be for the members of my small group to grab a couple and take home for their use tonight. And the reason for that involves a short story. I will actually link the sermon that inspired this down below if I can find it. It was from a handful of weeks ago where our retired senior pastor was preaching for the month of July. And the concept was this. The illustration he used for Jesus, essentially, and our attitudes towards Jesus and the mindset. This lighting is really harsh. Hang on. I'm trying to make things happen here. So the concept is this. Picture, if you will, you get your house all ready and you have a guest room and you have house guests, right? And the house guests are staying there for a couple of days and you're like, this is great. You know, you cook your best meals, you hang out, you do your best to make sure that their stay is comfortable and wonderful and whatnot. And then the day that they're supposed to leave, say Monday morning, you go to work, you expect them to be gone when you get home, but instead you come back and you've been informed, oh, hey, they're staying another week or two. And they're like, oh, okay, cool. And then, but wait, there's more. So then you're like, all right, well, I guess we're stuck with these people. Now it's a lot less exciting to have a house guest that was meant to be temporary, right? So then you go to work and then you come home and you find that your house guest has moved in to your master bedroom and has started bringing in their own home decor and redecorating your house. And all of a sudden, you feel like you're the guest in your own house because this guest that was supposed to only be there temporarily has come in and completely started renovating and moving in to every room of your house. Okay? We'd be kind of perturbed about that, right? Then he drops this bomb on us of how often do we treat Jesus as the house guest? How often do we get up and we go to church and Jesus's day is Sunday, right? Jesus is the house guest in our lives, but there are certain rooms in our lives that we don't let him into. We might let him into our Sundays and our mild spirituality, but we don't let him into our relationships, or we don't let him into our job, or we don't let him into our goals. That's not for him. Or maybe our hobbies that are maybe not aligned with what we should be doing as followers of Jesus. No. That's not a room that Jesus is allowed in. But that would be the wrong mindset. The proper mindset is not only is Jesus a house guest that is welcome every single day, you should not only have him, but desire for him to move into and renovate and change every single room in your house, every single room, which means not just the compartment of Sunday, but the compartment of career, home, family, goals, health and wellness, your activities, your hobbies, the people you hang out with, the places you go. Every room in the house is his room. And so I got this, and like I said, I'll link the sermon down below if I can find it because it was an excellent sermon. But I got this idea as we lead small group talking about the sermons of the week, right? So today's sermon that we heard this morning is what we'll talk about tonight. And we were talking about how is it that we can remind ourselves that this room is Jesus's room. And I made a joke of like, you know, I'm tempted to put a Post-it note, like in every room of the house, in every room of the house, in the kitchen, this is Jesus's room. In my office, this is Jesus's room, not my room, it's Jesus's room. Just as a reminder of, in our mindset, every room is Jesus's room, right? So then I was like, oh, the Post-it notes are gonna look so like gaudy and out there and whatever. And so I got this brilliant idea to pick up these little guys, because these are the equivalent of the Post-it note. These are the little reminders that we can put in every room of the house. It's subtle. It's subtle, but it's there. I have currently in my line of vision 1, 2, 3 different Jesuses in my line of vision, because this room, this living room is Jesus's room. I have one in my bedroom. That room's Jesus's room. I'm going to put another one, so I'll have 2 in my office. So whichever direction I'm looking, I see one. I'm going to put one in my car. I'm going to stick him on the dashboard, because I need to remember to keep Jesus in the forefront of my mind when I am on the road, when I'm getting mad that there's construction traffic completely derailing my travel plans, making things wildly inconvenient, and making people a lot meaner on the road than they normally would be. I need this reminder. So we have little Jesuses all over our house now. My husband has them in his office. I'm putting one in my Broadway nook. We have one by the upstairs TV, the downstairs TV, everywhere. And so I bought enough so the next time my small group came over, which will be tonight, they can take a couple and put them in their homes as well, as the reminder of that sermon that we talked about 3 or 4 weeks ago. So that's why we have little Jesuses set out this evening. The goal is for there to be no Jesuses left by the end of the meeting, because everyone has taken them to put them in their homes or their offices or whatever. So now you know why there's little Jesuses. And if you happen to see one in the background of a video, you'll know why. See, here's one of my little guys right here. These are the 2 that are going in the car. The purple one's going in my car. The red one's going in my husband's car. I have one that matches red for red and red by the tomatoes. I have him right here. And then I should have one more. Yep, in the corner, right there. Again, super subtle, but like reminders. So when I'm sitting here washing dishes and I look up, oh, there he is, right in my line of sight. Throughout the years, I might have used the term crunchy to describe members of my family or a behavior or a certain perspective as it pertains to how one lives, and more specifically, often the types of products one uses, right? And over the years, I have gotten to understand that crunchiness is a very, very broad spectrum, much like most things in life, right? I have a sister-in-law who is very, 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 very crunchy, like crunchy peanut butter, crunchy granola level crunchy, okay? And then there's other sides of my family who are not at all crunchy at all. And then is my husband and I, who sit comfortably in the middle. We are somebody we're regularly trying to clean up our behavior, use things that are a little bit more natural, a little bit more presumably non-toxic, but we still let things like red number 40 sneak into the occasional thing, right? So with that, we've been learning and understanding that we have been growing a little bit more crunchy. Our spectrum has slowly been going towards the crunchy side for years now. And that is, of course, with influence of information and, yeah, I'll say my sister-in-law, but just general knowledge of information and a desire to do better for our bodies, right? We have eliminated, for mostly, let's say 90%, we've eliminated artificial sweeteners. But do I still sometimes add a little thing to my water that has some red number 40 and some sucralose in it? Yes, I do. I am not perfect. And so we've made some big strides in our crunchiness factor as of late, primarily as it pertains to what we do in the kitchen. So I thought I would share with you a couple of things that I purchased recently to make our kitchen a little bit crunchier, okay? And now, before I get into that, I do want to share with you, as I was having this discussion with my sister-in-law, this whole thing of converting it is a whole thing. You'll see in a second. This whole thing started when my mother-in-law texted me and said, hey, you guys know that really old Tupperware stuff that some of you have taken from me and is in her house too, because she used to be a Tupperware consultant years and years and years ago. She goes, yeah, so apparently it's coming out that like all of the stuff that we're not supposed to use plastic for because it leaches into our food, apparently the Tupperware stuff is guilty of having those things, so you're gonna wanna stop using those. Well, it turns out I use that orange mixing bowl all the time. It is what I brine my pork in, and I will make baked goods in, and all sorts of things. So immediately we were like, I guess we're gonna have to change this. Yes, fine, no problem. And so as I was discussing options for new mixing bowls with my sister-in-law, the Crunchy Queen, I asked her flat out, I was like, first of all, I hope you're not offended that I keep calling you Crunchy because you are the crunchiest person I know. And she's like, no, of course, no offense, that's what we're called. Great, awesome. And I was like, so what is the term? Is there a term for like, I'm not, nor will I ever be, nearly as on the crunchy spectrum as you are? But also, it's not like my husband and I aren't not crunchy. Because we are. We make some very deliberate choices. We've reduced seed oils. We remove dyes when possible. We literally just bought ice cream, a new ice cream flavor from our local shop. That is a Cookie Monster flavor, but we bought it because it was dyed blue with spirulina instead of artificial coloring. And I looked up the ingredients because my husband won't buy Cookie Monster ice cream anymore because he doesn't want to ingest the blue dye. So we literally bought ice cream because it was colored naturally. So like, we're not crunchy, but we're not nearly as crunchy as other people we know. What is the term for that? And she goes, actually, the term for that is chewy. You're not smooth, you're not crunchy, but you're somewhere in the middle. So we are a chewy household, evidently, where we are trying to clean things up and get as crunchy as possible in some arenas, but also there's still some red number 40 in some of our products. Red number 40 just happens to be the thing that we jokingly laugh about because it's in everything. So with that being said, I thought I would share with you what came in the mail today. I'm going to preface this with, yes, it was a big investment. And yes, it might feel extreme, but also it was necessary. Because here's the thing. Well, let me show you. We are now the proud owners of an entire kitchenware set by Green Pan. This is the Valencia Pro collection. So it is up there in their collection. It's not as expensive as the Stanley Tucci collection, although as much as I wanted the Stanley Tucci collection, I know it didn't make sense. But we went all in on the 19-piece. I think we got this for, without like the get $25 off when you submit your email. I think it was a list price for us of $5.99 for this set. This is a 19-piece set. And what it is ceramic. Ceramic is actually the happy medium, right? So in a perfect world, you get away from the Teflon coating and the like Kevlar. And we've had Kevlar since we got married because nonstick is easier for me, right? Less scrubbing. I'm disabled. I have a hard time scrubbing and cleaning up the kitchen mess, which is why my husband does most of it, right? But on the flip side, the crunchy choice, the crunchiest choice is stainless steel, which is not at all remotely nonstick. And as somebody who's trying to also lose a little bit of weight, you can't put the copious amounts of fat in the bottom of the pan that are necessary in stainless steel cooking to make it as nonstick as possible. And also the creme de la creme of crunchy cookware is, of course, cast iron. Again, disabled. Cast iron and me, no go, right? It's just it's too heavy. It's too heavy for me to manage, and that's without food in it, right? You add the food and it's just a whole nother level of no-no. So the happy medium, the chewy medium, is getting rid of the Teflon coating and doing ceramic instead, which is why we went with the Green Pan set. And ultimately, we ended up going with the 19-piece set because after we took into consideration things like the grill pan, which in our house is absolutely a necessity because we use our Teflon coated grill pan all the time. This retails for $110 on its own. So there was a slightly smaller set that I could have gotten, but the pieces that it eliminated, it would have ended up costing more money to purchase those pieces and then get the little set. So we went with the bigger set. So we have some things that we normally have. like different sized frying pans, right? We've got the large, the medium, the small. And then I was gonna say, we have, there doesn't look like to be an extra large one, but I don't know that we need one because we also have things like this guy who's a handled pan, right? Who's a little bit bigger. And then we have this guy, which is somebody I've never had before. I'm very excited about this because it's big enough and deep enough where I can like cook fuller meals than I could in the frying pan. So I'm excited to give this a try too. We got, of course, the baby pan. And then we've got the different size pots. We got the little baby saucepan, or sauce pot. We've got the standard size pot, we've got the bigger pot, and then we've got the 8-quart bad boy. The amount of soup and chili that will be made in that pot. And that's one of the things that wasn't included in the smaller set. So between this and this, it already made up the difference of just buying the whole set. So, and bonus, we had a griddle. I've never had a griddle before. Pancake night or day, whenever I make pancakes, will never look the same because now I have a griddle and I've never had one. So this was the first and admittedly the most expensive step into making our kitchen just a little crunchier. Friends, my errands today took me to Trader Joe's area, so I went ahead and stopped and picked up a couple of things that I needed restocked, primarily these right here. This is what we needed from Trader Joe's. We needed this, and then everything else was a little extra. So let's get started. We always have some reduced guilt mac and cheese. I've been eating this for years and years and years. It's just a nice, decent amount of protein, 15 grams of protein, 270 calories, not a bad side dish or small meal if you need it. Great to add things to, add some tomatoes, add some chicken, add whatever. Great way to bulk things up. Shelled edamame for dinner tonight. That's not our entire dinner, it's an element of dinner. This sweet potato gnocchi with butter and sage is out of this world delicious. You guys, you have to prepare it in a pan, but it is absolutely amazing. 4 cauliflower gnocchis, because we always have cauliflower gnocchi in the house. This is one of it's a newer items and I have to try it. Okonomiyaki. This food, okonomiyaki, was one of my husband's and my favorite discoveries while living in Japan. It is so stinking delicious. Now here's the thing. Are we in Japan? No. Is this a frozen dinner instead of being fresh? Yes. Is this going to be anywhere near as good as getting fresh okonomiyaki in Japan? No, absolutely not. However, I felt compelled to try it, so we're gonna try it and just, reminisce on being in Japan and enjoying it. And if it's terrible, we'll never buy it again. So, but I felt like we had to try it. I had some cottage cheese because finding cottage cheese with minimal ingredients has been difficult lately because they don't carry it at Target and Good Culture is always out. And while this isn't just like milk and salt like Daisy, compared to some other ingredients lists and not being an organic brand, this is just a regular one, this list wasn't quite as offensive as some others. So I grabbed the Trader Joe's cottage cheese. Another new to me thing, this was on their Fearless Flyer, I think, so this is new to everybody. Plantains. The only time I ever eat plantains is when we go to one particular restaurant when we're in South Florida, and I love them. I order them every time we're there, and they're so delicious. And so if having these can recreate that in any way, amazing, amazing. All it is plantains and a little bit of oil. So we'll see. Again, we'll try them. If they're terrible, I'll never buy them again. I purchased this. This has been on my radar forever, but I saw on TikTok someone make an amazing looking chicken sandwich or turkey sandwich with this as the primary bread. And I was like, yes, I absolutely have to recreate that. So it's a turkey sandwich with pesto. So I got some pesto and some cheese. So I got garlic basil. I felt like this felt very much with the vibe of the sandwich. And then I can't remember, I have to go back and watch the video, probably like sliced tomato, maybe some microgreens or something, which I don't have either of those things, but I have the turkey. I got the turkey earlier today, and I'm just gonna build this sandwich. It's gonna be a delicious, delicious sandwich to have on hand. So there's that. Farro, relatively cheap there, $1.99 for the 10-minute Farro. So I got 2 of those just to have on hand because we use Farro not infrequently. this was an impulse purchase because I have been dying forever to try freeze dried candy. It's such a trend and it's stupidly expensive for what you get. This, while still not necessarily what I would call reasonably priced, was much more reasonably priced than any other brand I've seen. So this gives me the opportunity to try it, to say I've had it, and then to move on. And also the serving size is literally the entire package, which I think is hilarious. Oh, and also the colors are not dyes. I didn't even notice that, y'all. It's all natural coloring. Well, Trader Joe's, you at least got that going for you. Fantastic. And then strawberries, because the strawberries at Target looked terrible today. So I just got some strawberries because we needed to round out the berry selection in our house. These cookies are new. These I got to bring to small group tomorrow night. So they're not for the house. The All the Things cookies, how fun do these sound? Where's the description? Oh, where's the description? It's right there. With cornflakes, pretzels, marshmallows, semi-sweet chocolate chips, and crispy rice. So it's like a trash can cookie, which sounds amazing. So that sounds really, really fun and on par with the meal we have planned for tomorrow night. So, and then the last thing I got, which I don't normally do, but I want to start doing a little bit more, is I got 2 little $5 bundles of flowers. I've always wanted to purchase the Rainbow's Baby's Breath, and I've just never done it. And today was the day. I was inspired by this vase of flowers over here. We have this little vase, and this is what remains of the flowers that one of the boys in small group brought me the day after my grandpa died, which was 3 weeks ago. And the bouquet is still, I had to cut out about half of them, but it's still going pretty strong. And I was like, if these little bouquets really last that long, every once in a while, it's a great idea to just, the flowers have been bringing me joy since they've been sitting here for 3 weeks. So I was like, with this little vase, I can buy the smaller bouquets. So the vase will look nice and full with these in there. And I thought that these two things together would look really nice too. So we'll see. I could be very wrong. I do not have a degree in flower arranging, but here, that's everything I got at Trader Joe's. I'm unsure how well you can see this, but the last couple of things we've gotten to make our kitchen a little bit crunchier. This is a set of 4 glass mixing bowls. Yes, they come with plastic covers, but the plastic covers don't actually touch the food. So the glass mixing bowl portion is the important part, but I do love that they have lids, so I can just use them as storage if necessary, which is kind of nice. I guess worth mentioning is all of this is also glass. So we do have our Rubbermaid plastic containers because sometimes you just need a plastic container. So we have that one particular set, but everything else is glass. It has the plastic lids again, but the food is actually contained and microwaved in the glass without plastic, which is the important and crunchier part. The last recent purchase to make our kitchen a little bit crunchier was a new set of mixing bowls, specifically to replace the thing that started it all, the plastic Tupperware, the old plastic Tupperware. Those are in the trash. We are not giving them to anybody. I know they're like a relic from the 1980s or 70s, but we got rid of them because they're not actually good for us. And I replaced them with a new set of bowls. Now, actually, so here's for reference, in this set of bowls, which is from the brand Figment, which is the Target brand of home goods type stuff, and kitchenware specifically, they have a nice little silicone anti-slip thing on the bottom, which our other set of metal ones does not. These are very old, but they're still metal, so we hung on to those. But we got this new set, and then there's actually one more bowl in this collection that is downstairs because it is a size bigger and it is ginormous, and so there's just not room for it to practically be upstairs in storage right now, and the odds of me needing it on a regular basis are pretty slim. So we have 4 out of the 5 from this set. I will link all of the sets to the stuff that I have to crunchify my kitchen down below, but it's not a perfect thing, right? Making your kitchen crunchy doesn't have to be an all or nothing thing. Like I explained earlier when I filmed the first clip 4 weeks ago now, we are what we consider to be chewy. We're not crunchy, but we're not crunchy either. We are in between. There is still stuff in our house that contains sucralose, and food dyes and things like that. But when we have the opportunity, we try to lessen those things. We try to buy things without artificial food dyes, but some of the stuff still has them, and that's okay. We try to avoid artificial sweeteners, but some stuff still has them, and that's okay, except for like the monk fruit, erythritol, sugar alcohols, and stevia and stuff, no go in our house because my body can't tolerate them. Not because they're necessarily bad in and of themselves, but my body doesn't like it, therefore I don't eat it, right? But I can handle sucralose. My body can process sucralose, but we also know that the regular stuff, sugar, is actually better for you. So, because it's like natural, my body can process that, right? So a little bit of having sugar, like regular sugar desserts every once in a while is far better than eating something filled with artificial sweeteners and sugar alcohols 3 times a day for the sake of being able to have it. You know, so we're in that in between. We buy some things organic when the price is right, but we also just buy conventional fruit because fruit is better than, or having fruit that is conventional is better than not having fruit because you only eat organic, right? And again, it's to each their own, but this is our little personal journey of being a little bit crunchier, the chewy kitchen, if you will. So I am your chewy homemaker, I guess. But that is a look at our crunchier kitchen and all of that. And if I haven't already signed off on this vlog, I don't actually know where the status of this vlog is at this point because I haven't pieced it all together yet. And like I said, there's at least one clip from like 4 weeks ago. But if you're still here, thank you. Thank you for being here. Gold star to you. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more, and I will see you all later.